All right, let's talk about something that can be a real headache when you're job hunting. I'm talking about psychometric tests. But don't worry, today we're going to crack the code.
You know the feeling, right? That email lands in your inbox. You've already polished your resume, you've written the perfect cover letter, and now there's this new, kind of mysterious hurdle. It can feel pretty daunting. And hey, trust me, you are not alone in feeling that way.
But here's the good news. These tests aren't designed to trick you. Not at all. So what we're going to do is completely demystify them. We'll look at what they are, what they're really measuring, and most importantly, how you can approach them with confidence and show them what you've really got. Okay, so to really get a handle on these things, it helps to put ourselves in the recruiter's shoes for a minute. I mean, why do employers even use them in the first place? Well, turns out they're a key part of the modern hiring toolkit.
So, what even is a psychometric test? Let's break it down. At its heart, it's just a standardized way of getting to know you. Think of it as a tool that helps employers look beyond your resume to understand your natural abilities and, how you typically approach a challenge. And this is a super important point from a business psychologist. These tests show something totally different from your exam results. They're not trying to see if you remember things from school. Nope. They're trying to get a feel for your potential and just how you think. And believe me, these things are everywhere. Surveys show that about 80% of organizations use them. In fact, some of the big test publishers claim that 80% of the top FTSE 100 companies use their assessments. So what's the takeaway for you? Getting comfortable with these is a seriously valuable career skill, a real game changer. All right, so we get why employers use them. Now for the big question. What kinds of tests are you actually going to face? Let's dive in. You could get any combination of these, really. Numerical tests are all about how you handle data. Verbal tests check out your comprehension. Logical tests are kind of like puzzles. They challenge you to spot patterns. And then there are situational judgment tests, which basically drop you into a workplace scenario and ask, okay, what would you do? Now, all these tests pretty much fall into two big buckets. And here's a great way to think about it. An aptitude test, that's a 100-meter sprint. It's timed, there are right and wrong answers, and it's all about your maximum performance under pressure. But a personality questionnaire, that's more like a casual jog. No time limit, no right or wrong answers. It's just trying to understand your typical style. Let's zoom in on one of those sprint tests for a sec. Verbal reasoning. I'm going to give you the golden rule here, the biggest mistake people make. Ready? You can only use the information given in the text. That's it. This isn't a test of your general knowledge. It's a pure test of your ability to understand what's right there in front of you. So your answers will boil down to one of three choices. True means, yeah, that makes sense based on the text. False means it totally contradicts the text. And then there's cannot say. This is the one that trips people up because our brains just love to fill in the gaps. But all it means is you don't have enough information in that passage alone to prove the statement either way. Now, these online tests, they're often just the first step. The next stage is proving these abilities in person, and that usually happens in a structured interview. And here, recruiters typically use two main approaches. You've got your competency-based interviews, which focus on your past performance, those classic tell me about a time when questions. Then you have strengths-based interviews. They're more about what genuinely energizes you, based on the simple idea that we all do our best work when we love what we do. So when you get one of those tell me about a time when questions, the STAR method is your best friend. It gives your answer a clear, powerful structure. You start with the situation, explain the task, detail the specific actions you took, and, this is crucial, you finish with the result. It's a foolproof way to turn a simple answer into a great story about your success. Okay, we've covered the why, the what, and the how. Let's bring it all home with maybe the most important part of all, your mindset and how you prepare. So, how do you set yourself up to win? First, research the role so you know what skills they really value. Then, get your STAR examples ready ahead of time. And this one is huge, practice. Getting familiar with the test formats online is the best way to reduce anxiety. And finally, always ask for feedback. No matter the outcome, it's a gift that will help you grow. So, the next time that email lands in your inbox, instead of seeing it as just another hurdle, try to see it as something else. How can you reframe this challenge as your opportunity to shine, as a chance to show a side of yourself that a simple resume just can't capture? That right there is the real code to crack.